Lisa lay motionless on the empty road, feeling the weight of the world on her shoulders. She had made the decision to end her life, overwhelmed by grief and loss. But as a car approached in the distance, something in her shifted. She hesitated. Then, at the last moment, she rose to her feet. She had given up hope, but now she was ready to take one more chance. The car slowed down, and the driver, a man named Adam, offered her a ride. It was a remote area, and cars rarely passed through here, so Lisa felt a flicker of gratitude. She accepted, and the two of them started chatting as they drove along the lonely road. It was a bittersweet conversation, especially for Lisa, as this day marked the birthday of her daughter, Nina. Nina would have turned 9 if she hadn't tragically passed away. Just thinking of her daughter brought back a flood of grief, and Lisa felt the familiar sting of sorrow. Suddenly, a radio report interrupted the silence, detailing a serial killer who had a cross tattooed on his right hand. Lisa froze when Adam, without a word, turned off the radio with his right hand, the same hand that bore a cross tattoo. Her heart raced, a sense of dread settling in. The next moment, a bright flash of light blinded them, and Adam slammed on the brakes. Everything went black. When Lisa regained consciousness, she found herself in a strange steel enclosure, wearing a tight-fitting catsuit and a bulky bracelet with a glowing time readout. She tried rubbing the bracelet against the wall, hoping for some kind of escape, but only a few cracks appeared. Panic set in as she screamed for help, but no one came. She was alone. Just then, a circular door opened, and Lisa, with no other option, crawled through it. As she did, the door closed behind her, and her bracelet started a countdown. 11 minutes. She had no idea what it meant, but she had to move quickly. The tunnel she entered was narrow and eerie. Strange sounds echoed in the dark as Lisa pushed forward, her body scraping against the walls. At one point, another opening appeared, but it quickly shut, leaving her with no choice but to squeeze through a narrower path. Every inch felt like a battle, but Lisa kept going. Soon, she found herself in a colorful tunnel. The walls seemed to shift beneath her feet, forcing her to duck and crawl even lower to avoid being crushed. She could barely breathe, her exhaustion mounting with each step. But she pushed on, determined to survive. Eventually, she reached the next level, her body battered and bruised but still functioning. A decomposed body lay in her path, and despite the smell, Lisa moved it aside. But just as she thought she could continue, a metal barricade blocked her way, with 3 strange holes in it. As she tried to figure out how to get past the barrier, her bracelet turned red, and an alarm blared. Suddenly, tubes of fire shot out from the walls, forcing her to scramble for cover. She was barely able to escape into a small white space that appeared out of nowhere, its walls pristine and sterile. Just as she settled in, the blast door slammed shut, and fire engulfed the space where she had been standing. Lisa shuddered at how close she had come to death. When the flames finally subsided, her bracelet reset to another 11-minute countdown. Lisa's heart raced as she crawled forward, hoping for a way out. She soon found a pool of water, which she drank from to quench her thirst. She swam across the pool, reaching an opening that led to a larger space. Water began rushing in, flooding the area. A body was washed down the current, and Lisa had to wade through the filthy, stinking water. Ahead, she spotted a winding pipe. She had no choice but to squeeze through it on her elbows, inching forward with barely enough room to breathe. Just when she felt like giving up, a voice called out to her. The sound was faint, but it gave her the strength to keep moving. She followed the voice down a new path, but as she crawled, she came upon a pit of green liquid. When she touched a cloth to the liquid, it dissolved instantly, revealing that it was an acid pit. She had to proceed carefully, avoiding the deadly liquid at all costs. With her heart pounding, Lisa continued on, but just before reaching the end of the tunnel, her knee slipped into the pool and the skin was torn off. She heard the voice again, urging her to hurry, and followed it to a familiar 3-holed iron fence. Across from her, another man was trapped behind a similar barrier. Lisa tried to encourage him, but the man was breaking down, his desperation palpable. Just then, her bracelet turned red again, and she knew what was coming. Fire tubes shot out from the wall, and Lisa quickly made her move. She dashed to the opening with the man close behind, but the space was too small for both of them. In the struggle, Lisa kicked the man away, leaving him behind as the glass panel sliced through his arm. Horrified, she recognized him. The tattoo on his arm matched the one Adam had. As the flames burst from the pipes, the man was engulfed, and Lisa watched in shock as he died. Lisa fainted from the trauma, but woke up in a new, chilling space. This time, a robot approached, pouring a slimy liquid from the ceiling to heal her wounds. It connected a pipe to her suit, delivering nutrients to her body. As she recovered, memories of Adam flooded back, and she realized with horror that the robot was helping her. She looked at Adam's severed arm and saw strange markings beneath the device. Before she could make sense of them, a meat mincer moved quickly toward her. Lisa's heart raced as she scrambled to climb higher to escape its deadly reach. Her only option was another long, narrow tunnel. Just when she thought she might be safe, a zombie appeared out of nowhere, its terrifying growls echoing behind her. Lisa barely managed to escape, but two paths lay ahead. One would lead to survival, the other to certain death. In a flash of memory, she recalled the markings on Adam's arm, but there was no indication of where she should go. She compared the two paths, but nothing stood out. Finally, she chose the left path, praying it was the right one. As she crawled, she heard her daughter's voice calling her name. Her heart leaped with hope. She arrived at a white glass room, and there she relived the painful memories of her daughter's death. Nina had fallen from a window, and Lisa blamed herself for not being more careful. The grief nearly overwhelmed her, but just then the zombie attacked. Lisa fought back, escaping its grip. She sprinted down another tunnel, filled with thorns, and saw the blue sky at the end. It was a sign of hope, and she pressed on, determined to survive and find her way out. Victory is so close, but Lisa can't afford to give up now. Her bracelet flashes red again, signaling another round of fire blasts coming her way. Without hesitation, Lisa pushes forward, forcing herself through the thorns, even though the pain is almost unbearable. Meanwhile, the zombie sneaks into the safe zone, getting closer. Lisa finally makes it through the thorns and sees the blue sky ahead. But she's exhausted and her strength is drained. As the next 11 minutes pass, flames engulf the tunnel. Lisa falls into a dark pit through a small opening beneath her. The light from her bracelet reveals cracks in the walls, and to her shock, she realizes she's back where she started. All her effort has been for nothing. In despair, Lisa lies down and refuses the robot's help. The robot seems to understand her wish to give up on life, so it reaches out with a poisonous spike. But Lisa stops it when she sees something strange on Adam's broken arm. She realizes there's a clue hidden beneath her bracelet. With renewed hope, Lisa guesses there must be more symbols on her wrist under the bracelet. These symbols, she believes, are the key to getting through the tunnel. She asks the robot to boost her energy, signaling it to help. Before the robot can remove her bracelet, the tunnel opens again. Determined to survive, Lisa becomes fearless of the obstacles ahead. With the knowledge she's gained from her previous attempts, she navigates the journey more easily. She hides from the fire in the white space and swims faster across the pool. At the acidic pit, she removes her bracelet, revealing markings on her wrist. They are two crosses and a diamond, which seem to lead her to the next level of the game. Lisa moves on, facing another challenge, a choice between going left or right. The clue indicates that the right path is the correct one, and then she should turn left at the next fork. As she continues, a zombie appears, but Lisa skillfully avoids it. She then enters a tunnel where gravity pulls from all sides, making it difficult to control her movements. Lisa can only inch forward, but somehow, she manages to finish the tunnel faster than the zombie. At this moment, her bracelet shines with purple light. Lisa throws it into one tunnel to distract the zombie, hoping to mislead it, and enters another. The quiet that follows tells her she's chosen the wrong path. She quickly reroutes. Before long, Lisa enters a dark space that seems to resemble an internal organ. She rips open a membrane and reaches out, only to be startled by a large hand. Backing away, she sees shadows of monsters moving across the membrane. A face appears, getting closer to Lisa, making her feel uneasy. She tears through another membrane and finds her bracelet. Just as she reaches for it, the bracelet turns red, and an alarm sounds. Lisa scrambles to escape, kicking off the zombie that grabs her leg and ducks into the safe space. Relieved, she makes fun of the zombie, watching it scream in frustration. She plans to take a break while waiting for the fire to eliminate the zombie. However, the flame tubes fail to activate, and suddenly the glass barrier opens. The zombie lunges at her, but Lisa fights back fiercely, eventually killing it. After clearing the zombie, Lisa moves forward. As she's about to follow the cue, a bouncing ball catches her eye. It's her daughter Nina's toy. Lisa is stunned, wondering how this toy ended up here. To her shock, Nina slowly walks toward her. Tears fill Lisa's eyes as she sees her daughter again. But amid the joy of reunion, Lisa realizes this must be a hallucination. Time is running out, and she can't get stuck in the past. She bids farewell to Nina and heads toward the right tunnel, where the blue sky awaits. The final hurdle is a tunnel with 3 blades falling at quick intervals. Lisa recalls Nina's advice to ignore the time, or she might lose focus. She places her bracelet aside and watches the blades carefully. She notices that the first blade falls every 4 seconds, the second every 3 seconds, and the last one every 2 seconds. Lisa gets through the first 2 blades easily, but the final blade seems impossible. Still, she pushes forward, risking her life. She narrowly avoids it but injures her leg in the process. Despite the pain, Lisa crawls toward the exit, only to discover it's just a screen showing a video of the sky. Confused and disoriented, Lisa lies on the ground, unsure of what to do. She feels completely drained, as though her efforts were all for nothing. Just when she thinks all hope is lost, a bright light surrounds her. She is lifted into the air and finds herself in a world full of freedom and beauty, with all her wounds healed. Mesmerized by the stunning scenery, Lisa sees Nina appear before her. Lisa asks, "Did I die?" Nina replies calmly, "My body has died many times, but now I'm fine. You should live too." This mysterious world where Lisa feels both at peace and uncertain could be a virtual realm created by aliens, where she's been experimented on. And to experiment with a nice story, click on my recommendations on the right. Subscribe and drop a like if you enjoyed this recap and want to return in the future. Grab your popcorn, enjoy yourself, and see you soon, my friend.